Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Purplatypus is the name, and today we're talking about potential DLC for Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So, I believe it's the lead writer came out and said that it looks positive, no sound effects. It looks good for getting DLC. And so I kind of thought we could speculate a little bit together. We could talk about what we would like to see, what I would like to see personally, and what you guys can let me know in the comments what you want to see if I don't include anything here. So without further ado, let us jump into it. First and foremost, honorable mention. I don't have my journals anymore in New Game Plus, but Expedition 60 is an honorable mention because I'm pretty confident we won't get that. However, I think it would be very cool, very funny. Expedition 60, prepare for spoilers, by the way, in this. Like, this is DLC, so we're talking about stuff that could take place after the story takes place or before the story takes place. So Expedition 60 was the expedition of incredibly muscular naked people. They basically were very strong and naked all the time, was kind of like their thing. They were like, just train your body is the ultimate whatever. And so I think it is very funny to I think that would be a very insane expedition. But to be honest, if you've been on Nexus mods, I think that's kind of already Expedition 33 has already made that happen, right? But joking aside, I do not think that that is going to come. The first honest one that I am interested in is all this shit right here, right? We've got all these obviously glowing red paintings. I would love more to the Endless Tower, because right now the Endless Tower is 33 fights. And 33 fights is a long time. It can feel a bit endless, I won't lie, but it is very finite. So getting some sort of new game mode here, I think would be really cool. And then obviously unlocking whatever. This feels like this was built specifically to give us more stuff. What a weird like edge there in general. But yeah, this feels like if you could clear, this is what I thought was going to happen. We were going to go into one mirror, and then we were going to unlock one of these paintings. Then we're going to go into another, whatever, not painting or mirror, but like canvas. Then we were going to unlock more of these as we cleared floors. And eventually we'd get all these, and then we'd open to the ultimate super boss. Now that is not in the game. If it is, it's not been discovered, at least by me. So I would love a full expansion level of the Endless Tower, where I'm telling you, they can get crazy. They could, they could just do simple stuff where like, all right, this painting requires rules of 2. They even said all the paintings have like their own rules or whatever, right? So that one could be like use 2 units. One of them could be purely a solo. One of them could be, like no auto attacks. One of them could be like no skills, you could try to use, it could be like guns only. Like they could do all kinds of fun stuff. But the point is, I would actually not mind if these were just, I would like it if they did that. But also this could be something that enters you into a map itself. Like this could portal you into like a whole DLC kind of expansion with it, like a Erd Tree style expansion from Elden Ring, where you have your own power-up system in there. I think that would be cool. So that's my first speculation. They're going to do something with the Endless Tower. I think it's going to be more levels and more maybe like a boss rush mode, but really sky is the limit in my estimation here. Now, as far as expeditions that we have seen and we would like to see more of, I think it's obvious. A good DLC would be Expedition 0. Now, this is not the direction I personally want them to go with their DLC, but I think it's pretty clear that it would be a very well-selling DLC. So Expedition 0, if you're not aware, is the first expedition that went to the tower. They made it to the monolith, and basically everyone died except for Renoir and Verso, I believe, were both made immortal. That is the gist of what happened there, with other spoiler stuff. But think about that. If we get to play Expedition 0, that means, let's say Verso is the main character, or whatever, he's the main person who we witness the events through. We get to see pre-shattering what the world was like. Then we get to see the world shatter, and then we get to go on an expedition in the freshly shattered world with, who knows, maybe even stronger monsters. Maybe the magic of the shattering or whatever caused it, is starting to weaken. Maybe it's like Lord of the Rings where everything is less magical. So maybe it would be even a crazier DLC. But think about this. We would have Renoir as a playable character. He would be one of our main characters in our party for probably most of the DLC until whatever betrayal happens. I don't know the full details of, but Expedition 0 would be a very fun, it's just so full of interesting moments, and you might know how it's going to end in some sense, but I think that they could throw in a few loops in there that we weren't expecting. And did I break this? Why is there no sound effects on those? I don't know. But they could do so much that would be really fun. Now, finally, what I think could be the most interesting is a post-ending DLC. Now, I think they might save this for just a straight-up sequel, but I think they could give us a little taste of it still. And you know, this is spoilers, but basically something about the painters versus the writers. Let us be in the real world and use our painting powers, or visit another canvas altogether, or you know, again, that might just be something that is going to be full-on sequel, but I would love a little taste, a little sub-story of exploring the outside world. It doesn't even need to be a combat-focused DLC, where they don't need to have it make sense in that way, but I would love to see a little bit of the real world after this canvas gets erased, assuming you choose that ending, right? Like maybe like a real post-game where you actually get to see what happens to these characters after a canvas gets erased and see what exactly it's like out there. So that would be very exciting for me, and I think that would really be a fun story to tell. Actually, finally, one that I think might be the most fun for most players would be, like I alluded to earlier, a full-blown new canvas style DLC where you go into I don't know, there's a portal somewhere that opens up, there's one of those paintings in there, but you go in there and you have a full Erd Tree, Shadow of the Erd Tree style expansion. Maybe it's the same map, but it is like inverted. You know, maybe it's maybe it's like a pre-shattering version of the map or something, or maybe it's like a different, corrupted from a different painter or something like that. You could make up lore reasons why it would make sense, but then have a separate progression system in there. Maybe you have different playable characters. Maybe the characters take on a different form. You could even have it like, you know, basically I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts, right? Sora sometimes has different outfits and sometimes they swim. Maybe you have like a whole different thing where maybe you're not playing your main characters, or if you are playing them, they have a different skill set and different powers within this realm. And then you have to be careful. You don't want to borderline on making a whole brand new game, right? That doesn't make any sense. But something that would allow you to, because right now the issue is the combat lets you get so powerful that it might be kind of rough to make a DLC that you don't just instantly overpower. But if they revamped like they basically let you start from scratch at level 1 in a new DLC, I think that would be the shit. But yeah, basically that's kind of what I was thinking about. I'm kind of interested in what you guys are thinking about as well. So yeah, if you have any ideas about potential DLC, let me know. And yeah, guys, that's all for this one. Much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye! On the rise, watch the views go up.